I was really there for baseball. And I was real timid, real shy, didn't really open up as well. And I remember it was probably like in midweek, Brandon Jaggers actually asked me to give me my testimony down there in Nicaragua, and I was too nervous, too scared to even do it. Like I told him no, that I'm not going to do it, and which I did, and I really didn't get anything out of it. And then I went off to college, graduated high school, then went off to college. I went down the wrong path, got into the party life, and then all of a sudden Full Count came back into my life, and then it clicked to me because I knew that God wanted me in Full Count for a reason. So if I wouldn't have gone on a mission trip, I'd probably be, I'd probably be still depressed. I'd probably still fight with anxiety, because I was in a deep, dark place before I really got into Full Count. Just with my past and stuff, with drugs and alcohol, it's something that I've struggled with, and just the whole party scene. And then really, with Full Count being in my life, it's Christ-centered. So it's really what Christ has done in my life.
I'd say a couple years ago, I started to have interactions with several of the Full Count folks in my life, and it's by no mistake. I know it's all part of God's plan. Whether it was in my workplace or on the ball field, there were members of Full Count that I kept running into and noticing something different about them. I could tell maybe about 6 months out from when I went on my first trip, something was tugging at me, and I didn't even realize, but God was working on me, and He was pushing me along, saying, "Ryan, you got to do this. This is something that you have to do in your life. This is part of your plan." And so, I was pretty scared about going on the trip, but I made the commitment after talking to my wife. I think that was really a big part of it, was getting my wife's support. We got there, and then it clicked. It felt like, man, this is awesome. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is all supposed to be happening right now. This is by no mistake. This is God's plan for me to be out here to help share the gospel with all these people in Nicaragua that we could interact with. You play a baseball game, that's just that, it's a game. But you have the opportunity then in the game to come to the middle of the field, to the mound, circle up. Someone from Full Count, shares their testimony, someone else shares the gospel, and you can look around in that circle and you can see in these people's eyes, when we're pouring the message into them, you can see it have an impact. And you realize that you're there for a really good reason. I try to explain it to everybody back here in the United States, and it doesn't do it justice. I tell everybody, you need to go on a trip yourself. You need to try this, because I can try to explain it to you. It won't do it justice. You have to do this yourself, and it will completely change you as a man. And it just gave me an opportunity to just act differently around my kids, around my wife, around my coworkers, because I came back with a whole different outlook on life.
So the first trip I went on, Jason Beckner invited me to go, and I went, and that's where I really saw guys digging into God's Word. I really saw what that looked like, having a quiet time, and really just buying into a full-time relationship with God, and it opened me up to kind of unplugging myself from the noise of our environment here and our culture. To take that maybe a step further, I think when we come back home, we should still be on mission, and it's a challenge, and it's not something that I'm successful at, but it's something that is challenging me to be missional, and not. It's not for the the religiously elite. It's not just for pastors or people that are in full-time ministry, but it's for anybody that is following Christ.
Baseball drew me in. I showed up for the baseball. That was my whole intention in the beginning, was baseball. And a couple months later, I was asked to go on a mission trip, And I said no. I said, there's no way that I'm going to get on an airplane and go to a foreign country where people look different than I do. They speak a different language than I do. Without a weapon. Being a prior military guy, I was afraid to go to another place like that without some kind of security detail, if you will. The importance of the mission trip that I went on the first time of saying, yes, I'll go, it changed my life. It changed my life for the better. I was going down a path of destruction. I was searching everywhere for guidance and direction for my life. And I think I was in a dark place. If it had not been for that mission trip, I truly believe that I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I would not be married. My marriage was struggling at the time, and I believe it would have been over fairly quickly, and I wouldn't have children. My two daughters that I have now probably wouldn't be here. Our son that we adopted, he would not be a part of our family. So I think God orchestrated all this looking back. He used a game to change and save a life.
After hearing these testimonies, I hope that you can see that full count mission trips don't only change the lives of those that we're going to minister to and those we're going to invest in, although that is a reality. We've seen God move in ridiculous ways in Nicaragua and Honduras. But what I hope you saw is that full count mission trips change the life of those who go and serve. When they come home, they're never the same. And so I want to encourage you, challenge you, urge you to sign up this year to go with Full Count on mission. There's so many excuses, so many reasons why we can choose not to go. Or maybe you're one of the people who say, it's awesome what you're doing over there, but it's not for me. And I can honestly tell you, the only people who say that are the people who have never been. Because anyone who has been understands the impact, the life change that happens in their life. Now, I'm a product of mission trip. The reason I'm sitting in the position I am today is because I went on mission and the Lord changed my life, gave me a love for His Word, put a band of brothers around me who encouraged me, who loved me, who grew me up in my faith when I was a little baby Christian, and they've invested in me. And all that happened because I went on mission. I developed new relationships. And I thank God that Nathan Davenport called me when he didn't know me and asked me to go on mission. And I want to do that for all of you, is to ask you, to urge you, to plead with you to go on mission. Get rid of all the excuses. Let us help you get rid of all the excuses, and for you to go and serve the Lord with Full Count on mission this summer.